Oh, whether you're dreaming of going or you've already been, Hawaii is a magical vacation spot, but there's a danger in the water that most people don't know about, specifically in Kauai, where 3 people from the Bay Area have died this year alone. Let's bring in investigative reporter Elise Kirshner, who traveled to the island for some answers. Elise, how big of a problem is this?
Well, one ER doctor we spoke to referred to the drownings as the island's dirty little secret. The number of drownings has grown nearly 40% in the last decade. Now, local leaders are trying to prevent more deaths. But despite those efforts, many say visitors are being led to dangerous and sometimes deadly locations.
It was breathtaking. It was really breathtaking.
Breathtaking views, enticing Hawaiian waters, and spectacular sunsets.
It happened just so quickly.
Joy Chu, her boyfriend Brian Baker, and his best friend Adam Griffiths and his fiancée traveled from the Bay Area to Kauai to experience its rugged beauty. They set out to explore a coastline covered by shelves of lava rock on the North Shore.
God, I was so close to Adam when he got pulled in. It's just...
But in a second, with a crushing rogue wave, Baker and Griffiths were gone forever.
I knew I couldn't do anything. If they dispatched a helicopter right now, it would be too late.
Several weeks later, another Bay Area man died swimming in the waters off of Kapaa. He'd only been on the island for a few hours.
We all had the illusion of safety.
Kauai local J.P. Ryan witnessed yet another drowning.
If I'm at sea level, I'm not safe.
He watched helplessly as his friend visiting from Singapore drowned, and another came close to dying near these lava pools.
Wave came, I ducked, and when the whiteout cleared, both of my friends were gone.
Since January, 11 people have drowned on the island. Last year, there were only 4.
A huge swell comes in that just explodes.
Monty Downs is an emergency room doctor at Wilcox Hospital on Kauai.
The most common victim is a man in his 30s or 40s or 50s with children, and all of a sudden the wife is a widow and the children are without a father.
The investigative unit also discovered that since 2003, 74% of those who drowned here were visiting.
Almost could say a dirty little secret that Hawaii was just as willing to sweep under the carpet.
More than 100 have drowned on the island in the last decade. Each dot on this map represents one of those tragedies.
Are the drownings now happening at different locations that they weren't happening at 20 years ago?
Yes, the new locations are these rock ledges that no one knew about.
Why are they known now?
I think there's just a lot more information out there through blogs, through websites, guidebooks.
Sue Kanoho is the executive director of the Kauai Visitors Bureau. She blames guidebooks and social media for guiding visitors to once unknown locations that sometimes tell people how to go through private property, like the secret lava pools where Baker and Griffiths died. And this spot, known as Queen's Bath, with 29 drownings to date, it's an area so dangerous, Kanoho refuses to give directions to it.
Everybody's got the opportunity to post whatever they want, and it is free speech, so we understand that. But at the same time, we want to make sure that they're sending people to the right places.
This is the location that the Visitors Bureau won't tell tourists about, but you can see the parking lot is full, and right at the entrance to the trail down here, you can see a warning sign, but it's somewhat hard to see. And walking down to Queen's Bath, you will run into a steady stream of visitors. People of all ages who told us they found it by following a guidebook.
And the picture in the guidebook just has people swimming in a pool.
We felt it was irresponsible for them to be guiding people to their deaths.
State Representative Jimmy Tokioka tried to hold travel books liable, especially when they encourage a reader to trespass. But citing First Amendment rights, his bill was voted down.
Is it one guidebook author or is it several?
In the research that I did and the reason I crafted that bill, it was the ultimate guidebook, and it was Andrew Doty.
Andrew Doty's book, The Ultimate Kauai Guidebook, is the #1 selling book online.
Most popular?
Yeah.
And bookstores on the island can't even keep it in stock.
It tells you where you can access a lot of places that you would never find otherwise.
We'll give you a call Sunday morning.
The investigative unit talked with Doty by phone. He agreed to an interview and then abruptly canceled hours later, sending us this email in part saying, if the last 4 people that drowned on Kauai had our books and had read it, none would have died because we specifically give detailed warnings about those areas. Warnings like, beware of getting slapped by a rogue wave here. You shouldn't consider this hike if the ocean is angry, which is reasonably often. A rogue wave can turn that second pool into a washing machine and turn you into a limp rag. But officials say those warnings don't go far enough, especially when Doty includes photos like this. A child swimming in the same cove where Baker and Griffiths were pulled out to sea.
Mr. Doty?
Still, we wanted to give Doty another chance to address the issues, so we went to his home.
My name is Elise Kirshner from NBC Bay Area News. I came by to
doing at my house?
I came by to see if you can answer a few questions about your guidebook.
I sent you an email.
You make some great points. We'd like to have you talk with us on camera.
He refused to talk with us. Joy Chu read about the dangers, but says better warning would have made her understand just how deadly that lava pool was.
It shouldn't have to take deaths to be able to make changes like that. I think he's the most beautiful man I'll ever know.
Lush mountains, towering above even more impressive waves that crash onto 90 miles of coastline.
People get a little too comfortable in the ocean, and you really have to treat it with respect.
A beautiful Hawaiian island that's also dealing with nearly 3 times the number of drownings compared to last year. Most victims were visiting Kauai. 3 of them came from the Bay Area. So what's being done about it? We met Kauai's deputy fire chief on the east side of the island at Lidgate Beach Park.
Some would say that your economy is based on tourism, so shouldn't you do a better job?
I think we do a great job.
Kauai Deputy Fire Chief John Blaylock says his lifeguards made more than 100 rescues last year, and his department spends the national average for a town of its size on safety efforts.
Are you seeing drownings at locations you didn't see 10 years ago because people are now going to different places that were once secret?
Okay, with that one, and I will admit that.
These are places that typically there were never drownings.
Yeah.
He's referring to this location near Kalihiwai. 2 men from the Bay Area and a man from Singapore died here within the last several months. All were pulled off of these shelves of lava rock by rogue waves. The deputy fire chief blames guidebooks, social media, even apps for leading visitors to this once secret coastline with no lifeguards in sight.
They have opened up areas that are beautiful, but that people shouldn't go.
Monty Downs is an ER doctor at Wilcox Hospital and president of the Kauai Lifeguard Association.
It can be calm for 20, 25 minutes, and then a minute later, a huge swell comes in that just explodes and can knock you off the rocks or pull you off the beach.
No warning.
Without warning, that's right.
It's become such a problem, an ocean safety video now plays on loop at the airport. The state is also asking airlines to play a video on flights into Hawaii, warning visitors. And Dr. Downs has placed these safety tubes around the island at popular spots like Queen's Bath and Hanakapiai Beach. That's where we found Mark Hubbard.
The rivers get dangerous.
Now retired, Hubbard treks the 2-mile trail that leads to Hanakapiai Beach every 2 weeks.
First quarter mile is uphill like this.
Maintaining the path and helping visitors.
This is the warning sign about swimming at Hanakapiai Beach. And this is the number of drownings that have been recorded so far.
During flash floods, massive amounts of search and rescue resources are focused here. In February, 50 people in one day were airlifted out. One woman from New York could not be saved and was swept out to sea. But the deadliest location in the last decade has been Kipu Falls near the south side of Kauai. It's so dangerous, some guidebook authors agreed to take it out of their books. And landowners built a fence to keep visitors from jumping off the falls.
People can't see it anymore. They want to see a waterfall, any waterfall. You can swim in it, you can swing on a rope, but it is dangerous. It's a two-edged sword. I don't know which side you take.
It's that raw, rugged beauty that draws people to Kauai. Local leaders say that here, Mother Nature can be aggressive, but enjoyed with caution, even on life-guarded beaches.
There's currents that are pulling out.
And this is one of the safer locations.
This is one of the safer locations.
And it's still dangerous.
And it's still dangerous.
Another reason why the waves in Hawaii can be so deadly, the absence of a continental shelf. So the waves there are faster and more powerful. If you'd like to learn more information about the dangerous coastlines, just go to our website, NBCBayArea.com. And if you scroll down, you're going to see an interactive map. There you will see the locations of the drownings dating back to 1970. We've also set up graphs giving you information about EMS calls on the island.
Hawaii has seen a 40% increase in Bay Area travelers in just the last 5 years. But one island is seeing a disturbing trend. Investigative reporter Elise Kirshner traveled to the island of Kauai this past spring to find out why so many tourists have drowned there.
More than 500,000 Bay Area residents have already flown to Hawaii this year, and more will visit during the holidays. We found that's causing even more concern because during the winter months, the waves will grow even stronger and more dangerous.
It's so beautiful and inviting. People don't realize how dangerous it could be.
The waves can be powerful and unforgiving. San Francisco resident Jen Kwong saw it firsthand.
Yeah, that spot just, once you're in the water, is a death trap.
With a crushing rogue wave, her fiancé Adam Griffiths and his best friend Brian Baker were swept out to sea. Standing on these lava rock shelves along the north shore of Hawaii, Kwong and Baker's girlfriend Joy Chu watched helplessly.
I knew I couldn't do anything. If they dispatched a helicopter right now, it would be too late.
Chu spoke to the investigative unit right before we traveled to the island last spring to find out why one of the least inhabited islands was seeing the most drownings per capita in Hawaii. 5 months into 2013, 11 people had already drowned.
When you hear the water, I think we're getting close.
We went with caution to the very place the 2 Bay Area men died. It seemed deceptively safe. Since then, the number of drownings has grown to 16.
My heart was really heavy, and I was very sad. I can understand why other drownings could have happened too.
More visitors per capita are drowning here than on any other island. From 2008 to 2012, Kauai has had the highest rate of non-resident drownings. Maui came in a close second, followed by the Big Island of Hawaii.
The deadliest months are the winter.
Monty Downs is an ER doctor at Wilcox Hospital and the president of the Kauai Lifeguard Association.
Is it considered a crisis situation at this point?
I think so, and I've tried to say that very word to the county government.
Though, in an email sent to the investigative unit, county officials say they are open to solutions but are not ready to act just yet. In part saying analysis needs to be done before we all come to the table in order to have maximum impact.
Almost hand grenade explosions if you go down to a rock ledge and see what really happens when the winter swells come in. The waves explode 100 feet into the air.
Nature is beautiful. It's really, really incredible. Also so powerful. We can appreciate it, but don't appreciate it in a way where you think you can beat it. Just let it be.
Jen Kwong hopes others will learn from her loss. She would have married Adam Griffiths last month. Instead, she's looking at a future without him.
He would tell me he loves me every day and how going to sleep every night is one of his favorite moments.
The county has taken steps to try and prevent more drownings. An ocean safety video plays on loop at the airport. Local resorts warn their guests, and Dr. Downs himself has even placed safety tubes around the island. But he says because the majority of deaths happen at non-lifeguarded beaches, more lifeguards should be added. The county says it can't afford that because of a budget shortfall. Elise Kirshner, NBC Bay Area News.